Good morning, children. Here we are back again with your same topic, determiners. And we are going to discuss the next two types of determiners. Firstly, already we have discussed in your previous class about articles and demonstrative adjective, which are type of determiners. Today, we are going to discuss quantifiers, where I will be telling you about different quantifiers. Some, any, much, many, few, little, a little, lesser, fewer, etc. There are so many. They are example of quantifiers which you use frequently. Regularly you are using these quantifiers. Some examples of this: there are some books on the desk. How much money have you got? Now, this word some is a quantifier which is telling about the quantity of the noun, books, and here much is also telling about that money. So, they are both qualifying the nouns here. Some is qualifying books and much is qualifying money. This is some is used with countable nouns. For books we can count, and money we have used word much which we cannot. It is considered as uncountable. Now, some quantifiers can go only with countable nouns. The things which we can count, some quantifiers goes with that only, but some quantifiers can go only with uncountable nouns. Example: sugar, tea, advice, etc. These things we cannot count in numbers like 1 2 sugar or 3 sugar. We cannot write like that. So some quantifiers, they are called as used with uncountable nouns. Some quantifiers can be used with both countables and uncountables noun. We are going to understand them with some examples how they are used in a particular. Now here we are going to start with some examples of quantifier where I told you that some particular way we use these quantifiers. Only with countable nouns, I have given you the list here which quantifiers only go with countable nouns. There is a list of those which goes with uncountable nouns, and here's a list which can go with countable and uncountable. A few, a number of, several, a great number of, a large number of, they can go with countable nouns only. With uncountable nouns, a little, a bit of, a great deal of, a large amount of, these are used with only uncountable nouns. Now with both countable and uncountable, no, none, not any, some, all, any, a lot of, lots of, plenty of. These all go with countable and uncountable nouns. Now, these quantifiers, it's not only these, many other quantifiers which we are using frequently. Now, the question arises that sometimes some quantifiers we know them very well, but exactly we are making some errors that where to use, and that makes our grammatical error. So where children get confused, I'm going to discuss those quantifiers with you, such as much, many. Now, much means a large quantity. When we are talking about large quantity, we use this much word. It refers to amount or quantity and is singular. We are talking about some quantity, not number we are talking about. Used with uncountable nouns, we take this term as singular, and uncountable noun, we cannot count this, but we take it as a singular form. Many means a great number. This we can count. Number itself indicates counting. It refers to number and is plural form. When we are referring many, that means we can count so many things, and then we use it in plural form. So it is used with countable nouns. Now here are examples for this. There is not much water in the tank. Now water cannot be counted, and thus we have used here much. It is a large quantity. That means large quantity is not there in the tank. We refer to much water. That means more amount is not there. Many people were present at the concert. So we are here referring to the number of people, large number of people we are referring. So many people were not there. So This refers to a large number. So that is the difference between much and many. It is used with number, it is used with quantity. Next, children, I will be discussing the most confusing part of quantifiers where children get confused. Say few, a few, and little, a little. Children get confused with it, where to use few and where to use a few. Now, few. When we are talking about few, that means we are not talking about many things, hardly any. When very less quantity we are talking about, there we use hardly any quantity, then we use few. And emphasize the lack of something. When we are talking about few, that means we are talking in a negative way, that very less quantity or lack of something is highlighted through few. It will be more clear through example. First you understand the definition. A few is used to a small number. A few has positive meaning and is opposite to none. Now, a few refers to obviously small number, but we take it as a in a positive way. Maybe I have few thing, but a few thing, but I am taking it in a positive way. That maybe less is there, but it is a few number of pencils are there in my box. That means I'm being positive. That maybe less, but few are there, a few number is there. But when I'm using only few pencils are there in my box, that means I'm being negative, that less quantity is there in my pencil box. So same is with little, a little. Few is referred with numbers, but when we are talking about little, a little, that means we are talking about some quantity. Not much, that means little is used with, that means hardly any quantity is there. It has negative meaning and again emphasizes the lack of something. Similarly, a little is used in positive sense. It refers to some, but not much, and emphasize that something still remains. So we are being positive when we are using a little or a few, but when we are using few or little, we are being negative. Let's make it clarified through examples. He is a man of few words. Now, he says very little. Now, here we are talking about that he says very little. That means few words, not much, very few, negative sense. We still have few minutes left. Then we are talking about before the class gets over. So maybe a few minutes are there, but we are taking it in a positive manner, that maybe few minutes, but it is good that they are still remaining there. Now there is little hope of his success. Now I have taken the same similar kind of examples here to make you more clarified this thing. There is little hope of his success. That means he is not likely to succeed. We are talking, when we are using only little, that means we are not sure about his success. He is not likely to be succeed. Now there is a little hope of his success. That means we are talking about that he is positively, maybe he is going to succeed. Now a little and little, it makes that difference. Firstly we are being negative, and here we are being positive about the success of that person. Coming on to the next, quantifiers, more, less, and fewer. More or less is used before singular uncountable nouns. When we use by adding them after noun or for an additional or lesser quantity of something. Obviously, more is referred with additional quantity, lesser is used with less is used with lesser quantity of something, and we use it before noun. I do more work than Suresh. Here I am talking about my additional work. Satish does less work than me. Here I am referring to the lesser work. Now fewer is used before plural countable. Here they are uncountable things with its singular meaning. And here fewer is used before plural countable nouns to refer to a group or thing smaller than other. Now fewer is comparison, just as we are talking about a smaller quantity. We had fewer computers a year ago. It is a kind of a comparison related to the year ago. So we use it in this, but we are using it in a plural sense of counting things when we can count the nouns. Next, where children are more confused with this concept of each, every, either, neither. These all are these determiners and they are used in a singular number. Now, when we are using this as a singular number, each refers to one of two or more things and person, where we emphasize on the individual and not on the group. We are talking about each. Say, I am saying each one of you should do this work. Each, here I am word each is stressing on every individual of the group. I am stressing on every person. Each and every. So when every is used, that means I am talking about every person in the group. I am talking about the whole thing and stressing on to that. But again, singly, every, we are talking about the whole group, but talking about every person individually, stressing on to single person. Every refers to all of a group of more than two taken singly. The stress is on single, but we are talking about the whole group. But each is, we are stressing only on the individual of the group. Either has two meanings now. Either we are talking about one of the two. The two things are there. We are taking an option of one. And either is also used when each of the two, that is both. We are talking one side and another side. Individually also we are talking about either this, either this. Though two options are there. Neither is the negative of either and means neither the one nor the other. Neither is opposite of this either. We are taking here one option at a time, maybe one or maybe the both side we are taking individually, but neither is neither this not that one in the negative sense. So we are done with this types of quantifiers. Now children, I would like to discuss few examples with you related to this. Each worker has to sign this agreement. Now each worker, each word is stressing on worker individually. Now every country has its own flag. Although I'm talking every country, I'm talking about the whole countries in the world, but stressing is on individually, that every country, that means my country, your country, every country has its own flag. Now either side may win. Now we are talking about either side means this side or that side, taking both as an option but individually again. If I am talking about either side may win, that means we are talking about this side or that side, they may win. So individually we are taking them. Next example is he took neither side. Now when we are talking what we are using neither, that means neither this side nor that side, no side is going to be win. That means negative meaning is there. Previous one either means we are taking an option of positive way, neither is not this one not that one, so that is neither. Now next type of determiners which you have already done in your previous classes, understanding this possessives. Now where have you done possessives? It is in the possessive adjectives, where we show that something is ours, where we show our possession, we show our belongingness. Possessive, these are some examples of possessives: my, your, his, her, its, ours, their, etc. These are possessives examples, some of the examples. Now they tells us who owns something. Belongingness, it shows possession or belonging. Now how it shows belonging? Say I'm saying this is my house. My house, is showing my belongingness to the house. This is your book. I'm showing this book as your. So it belongs to you. So our car needs repair. So these are some examples which shows possessive adjective, or we can also say them possessive determiners. A possessive adjective answer the question whose. If you are going to ask this question, whose book? I'm going to say your book. If I'm going to ask you whose car, you're going to answer our car. So this is the uh, uh, possessive adjectives, which we also call as possessive determiners. So it is very small part. I hope this part of determiners are clear to you. The doubts related to this which we came across are clear to you, and I would like you people to write down all these notes in your notebook, and we will be giving you exercises for practice in the next class. Thank you, class.